Hey everybody, Mike Branton here, author of the soon-to-be-released Architecting Success, a 12-month leadership blueprint, and founder of LeadershipSpringboard.com. You ever run into a situation where your team just isn't delivering what you expect of them? Maybe the results aren't there, maybe the culture is just off a little bit, or they're just not hearing what you're teaching them. I run into that a lot, and I think that anybody that's honest with themselves would say they run into that frequently, probably multiple times a month. When I run into that situation, I've got a number of tools that I use. Typically these are books and articles and writings of other leaders before me that help me refocus on what it is that I'm not delivering for my team in those times. Because let's be honest, when the team isn't performing, it's you as a leader, not them, that has the shortcoming. One of the tools that I like the best, that's had the biggest impact on my career and really my life overall, is a book that was written in 1937 by Napoleon Hill. It's called Think and Grow Rich. For those of you who are not familiar with that book, Andrew Carnegie paid Napoleon Hill to spend 20 years interviewing 500 of the men and women that were most successful at the time and really shaped our country into what it is today. We're talking about people like Henry Ford and Thomas Edison, Charles Schwab, John D. Rockefeller, Carnegie himself obviously, and on the list goes. What Hill did was he compiled the traits and attributes of the most successful people in the world and put them together in a book that is still valid today. And in that book is a tool that I want to share with you today. It's the 11 major attributes of a successful leader. When I'm stuck, when something's not going on with my team, and I look at these 11 attributes, I can almost always find something that I can do more of or less of in order to be a better resource for my team. I want to walk you through that tool today. So here we go. The first attribute that Napoleon Hill wrote about is unwavering courage. He says, based upon knowledge of self and one's occupation, no follower wishes to be dominated by a leader who lacks self-confidence and courage. No intelligent follower will be dominated by such a leader for very long. Second is self-control. People who cannot control themselves can never control others. Self-control sets a mighty example for one's followers, which the more intelligent will emulate. A keen sense of justice. Without a sense of fairness and justice, no leader can command and retain the respect of his or her followers. Definiteness of decision. People who waver in decisions show that they are not sure of themselves. They cannot lead others successfully. Definiteness of plans. The successful leader must plan the work and work the plan. A leader who moves by guesswork without practical, definite plans is comparable to a ship without a rudder. Sooner or later, it will land on the rocks. The habit of doing more than paid for. One of the penalties of leadership is the necessity of willingness upon the part of the leaders to do more than they require of their followers. A pleasing personality. No slovenly, careless person can become a successful leader. Leadership calls for respect. Followers will not respect leaders who do not score highly on all factors of a pleasing personality. Sympathy and understanding. Successful leaders must be in sympathy with their followers. Moreover, they must understand them and their problems. Mastery of detail. Successful leadership calls for mastery of the details of the leader's position. Willingness to assume full responsibility. Successful leaders must be willing to assume responsibility for the mistakes and shortcomings of their followers. If they try to shift this responsibility, they will not remain leaders. If followers make mistakes and become incompetent, it is the leader who has failed. Cooperation. Successful leaders must understand and apply the principle of cooperative effort and be able to induce followers to do the same. Leadership calls for power, and power calls for cooperation. And that's it. 11 points that Napoleon Hill wrote about 77 years ago, true today as they were then. I hope that they can be the guide for you that they are for me. 99 times out of 100, when something isn't going right with myself and my team, it's something that I'm doing, not something that they're doing. This tool can quickly help me dial in. This video is available at my website, LeadershipSpringboard.com. If you're watching this anywhere other than LeadershipSpringboard.com, please do go by my site. We've got tons of resources for new and aspiring leaders and those who coach new and aspiring leaders. I've got free gifts and tools, a podcast series, blog post, and tons of resources from around the web and from folks like Napoleon Hill that we heard from today. Thanks for your time today. Until I see you next time, good luck in everything that you do.